Good morning, and welcome back to the One Celtic fans view this morning. Celtic, I'm going to say, are still a shambles. Nothing has changed. Martin O'Neill's came in. He's come in to steady the ship. We'll see how the players are today. In the background, Celtic are still a shambles. So Martin O'Neill wants to play Kasper Schmeichel as his number one. The board and someone at the club thought it would be a great idea to go back to an ex-Celtic player and ask him if he wants to come back. A player that told Celtic months and months before he was actually sold, told him that he was unhappy at the club. He wanted to try something new. He wanted away from Celtic. He'd achieved all he could at Celtic. He had won trebles. He had won a double. He'd came in under Ange Postecoglou, but there was a cry from Celtic fans to bring back Kyogo. Never mind the face painter, Coco the Clown just smashed Celtic FC with a big cream pie in its face. It's absolutely embarrassing, if you ask me, that we went back for Kyogo. We knew that he wanted away from Celtic. Why would he want to come back? He's turned around and he's told us no. That's embarrassing. That's not a club that is going forward. Martin O'Neill obviously said that, talking about Kasper Schmeichel, I think he's really terrific goalkeeper. I think if he can get back to doing what he did for me previously, he might be okay. Chris says, I wonder if Schmeichel and Iniacho have a contract to play if they deem themselves fit. I wouldn't say that they would get to pick and choose when they play. If they did, Celtic are in a far worse condition than what I would ever have thought that we were. But actually glad that Kyogo said no, we're going backwards. It's terrible that we even thought about it. I mean, I can understand why people wanted Kyogo back. Yeah, there's this little love fest. But it's not going back. It's going backwards. It's not going forward at all. And me, for one, like you, I'm glad that he said no. But it is embarrassing on the club. The botched transfer, Chris Sutton says, look, I think that Martin O'Neill coming back for a second stint in charge should not affect his legacy in the slightest, no matter what. What happens next is entirely on the Celtic board. Martin O'Neill will do everything in his power to get the team back on track and into the Premiership race. Because right now, we are not in the title race. We know where we are. We're third in the league. Hearts would need to lose 3 games. Are we convinced that Celtic can win every game at the end of the season? No, we're not. Are we convinced that the Celtic board will do the right thing and get players in this window to get us to win the league? No, we're not. Are we convinced that the players here can up their game enough to win us the league from third position? No, we are not. As it stands this morning, the Celtic board still stands guilty as charged. Neglect of Celtic Football Club, even though they got rid of Wilfred Nancy, even though they got rid of Austin Trusty, not Austin Trusty, I'm looking at Austin Trusty, even though they got rid of Paul Tisdale, maybe we should get rid of Austin Trusty and get some money back for him. And even though Peter Lawwell stepped down from the club, we are still a shambles. Nothing's changed. The Green Brigade find themselves out this morning and not going to games. There's been no communication from the club, even though the chairman said, let's all come together. I think he was sitting singing, got to come together right now. I think that's what he was sitting. He just had the radio on and he just heard the tune and he's typing away. And he's like, you got to come together right now. I'm going to put that out there in a statement. Let's just hope for Martin O'Neill's sake that he can get some players in, and let's hope for Martin O'Neill's sake that the board do back him, because as it's standing just now, we're into the 10th of January. Well, we're all kind of hoping that Celtic would try and get some business done early in the window. They've approached Birmingham, yes. There's an alleged document out there that was part of the official paperwork that was faxed over to Birmingham from Celtic asking to take Kyogo Furiashi on loan. I think that the board, the club, in doing so, our scouting department's a mess. Let's look at the reality. I mean, never mind getting into arguments on the chat about the Green Brigade and whatnot. Let's look at the facts this morning. Do you know, I'm actually quite angry this morning. Let's look at the facts. We sold Kyogo a year ago. We did not replace him. We have went through 4 managers. And we still haven't replaced Kyogo Furiashi. One member of the board stood down, citing family threats. Same board, same bullshit, and we expect a different outcome from Martin O'Neill. We expect Martin O'Neill to be some kind of miracle worker. Martin O'Neill's not a miracle worker. We will finish second in the league this season. We will not win a thing this season. If we get to the end of the window and we have not brought in 5 quality players, our season could be done in the end of January. It wouldn't be beyond the realms of Martin O'Neill's team getting put out by Auchinleck Talbot. We got put out by Clyde once. Everything's not rosy in the garden just because Martin O'Neill comes back. And the sad state of affairs is 10 days in, we're allegedly going for more wingers. Like, that's what we really need. Yeah, we need more people to play on the wing at Celtic. And when it comes to trying to go and get a proven goal scorer, we go backwards, we go cap in hand. We go cap in hand to Birmingham. Say, please, sir, can we have Kyogo? It's absolutely embarrassing of the club. And then for Kyogo to say, I've been there, done that. I don't want to go back. The club have offered Callum Wilson from West Ham. What are your thoughts? I've seen you message me on that Facebook, mate. The club have been offered Callum Wilson. It means to me, when the club has been offered players because other teams know we're struggling, it's not a good position. It's not who exactly at the club is forward thinking and looking at the transfer window. And we know that Sean Maloney's been doing work. I take it everything that the previous guy, his deal, I take it we've just got his paperwork, ripped it up and shredded it. Let's start again. That's the position that we seem to be in this morning. You know, Kyogo knocked us back yesterday. Let's start again. There is no structure to the club at all. And the charlatans that are running the club are just getting away with it again. Martin O'Neill back to save our skins. Whoopah. Kasper Schmeichel back in goals. Whoopah. Anyway, he's out of contract. Who's offering him? Yeah, if he's out of contract at the end of the season, a lethal striker is not much to ask. Lol. A lethal striker. Celtic are not getting a lethal striker. Wilson is shit. Absolute mince. Wilson and Kelechi are our front. Might as well start Kenny. They'll both be out injured. The fact that we're getting offered these elderly players, just go and take them, Celtic. Celtic will take them. They're struggling. Everybody in football knows that Celtic Football Club are, one, struggling for players, struggling to attract players. Now, this shows you the importance of us getting into the Champions League, because when you get into the Champions League, there are players that will go, there's nothing exciting about Celtic. And especially now that we're sitting third in the league, this is a wake-up call to fans. This is a massive wake-up call to every single Celtic fan out there that think that we're going to go out into the market, spend £10 million on a proven 30 goal a season goal striker. Not a chance. Celtic will not do it. Not going to do it. We'll end up getting loan player in as a striker. And getting a loan player in as a striker means that you're getting someone that's not getting picked on a weekly basis, that isn't good enough for his own team. But Celtic fans want us to go out and get the best. You're going to be let down at the end of this window. And this is all on the board. I'm with Chris Sutton, who says that O'Neill coming back for a second stint in charge should not affect his legacy in the slightest. No matter what happens next is entirely on the Celtic board. Chris Sutton, who does not mince his words, and it is on the Celtic board. After the chaotic summer in the window, the club and the way the club conducts its business shows no sign of improvement. The Celtic fans collective have ramped up their Not Another Penny campaign. They say for a season ticket, it's around about £608. 4 new kits a season, around about another £350. Single match tickets to away games is around about £36 to £45 per ticket. You go to Ibrox and it's £50 odd a ticket. Kiosk spend in a season, £100 plus. Don't know what kiosk they're going to, because I've seen folks that could spend that in 2 or 3 games, £100 plus going to a kiosk. And you can understand that these numbers are for an individual young guy in his 20s. And then you add on his little bag of white marching powder every game, and that's it. Skyrockets the price, doesn't it? But then they have in their ticket receipt, European ambition, not available. Fan engagement, not applicable. Board accountability, not applicable. 60,000 fans sold down the river. Don't take any more. Not another penny campaign until we see the mistakes are learned. They are learned from, and that real change in how we operate at Celtic has changed, and it's not. All they've done is got rid of Nancy. Nothing's changed at the club. Not one single thing. As much as we would hope for change, with Peter Lawwell leaving the club, as I said before, Peter Lawwell did nothing to do with the day-to-day running of the business. His sidekick that's brought in, we currently don't have a head of operations. No wonder we're pushing in the wind. Yeah. Let's pray for a win today. I think that we would need more than a prayer for a win today. Yeah, again, not getting players in will bite us. It is a difficult window. I'm not going to lie. It's a difficult window for any football club. You're trying to bring in players. You're trying to attract players midway through a season. Generally, if you've got a player that's firing on all cylinders, you're going to have to go and spend big money. You're going to have to spend over 10 to 15 million to get a reasonably good player. And Celtic fans will not accept spending £10 million on another player if he turns out to be like Arnie Engels. But I wish we had Chris Sutton, John Hartson's scouting team. They could find us players that we would need. I doubt it, because the way that Chris Sutton and John Hartson would want to run the club, we would probably be skint. What's this about spending money on the food and drink at games? The Kirkcaldy bus just raided the motorway services. It's not the Kirkcaldy bus that does that. Aye, aye, aye. You pesky little devil, you, Chris. I'm saying nothing because I've been at Hart Hill when you see buses come in, and it is just a smash and grab. It's crazy. Back in the day, the board have joined. Not another penny. Yes, it's like the board have joined. I'm not having any bad words saying about the the my old club, right? The Joseph Rafferty Celtic Supporters Club. 20, 11 years ago. It was 11 years ago. 11 years ago. Where's my puss book? Wait a minute. Yeah, it was 11 years ago. Had its dinner at Celtic Park. Need clue on this. Where is it? Memories. And it's typical when you want it on your computer, it doesn't show you it. Pierre Van Hooydonk. God, how you could do with Pierre Van Hooydonk coming back into Celtic, eh? That would be fantastic. 20th anniversary. It was its 20th anniversary 11 years ago. The Joseph Rafferty Celtic Supporters Club is now 31 years old. Fantastic club. Have none of your nonsense about the Joseph Rafferty Celtic Supporters Club. One of the best run buses in the land, it has to be said. Right, who can I block? Like Callum Wilson has been fit all season, would be a great signing, would bring in a barrel of the goals. He's 34. It's just what we need. Yeah. More pensioners in the squad. Do you know? Why don't we see if we can get Pierre Van Hooydonk to come back to Celtic? He's bound to be able to put a shift. In fact, where's Lubo? It's ridiculous that we're getting linked with so many nonsense named players. Anyway, Celtic team news. With several players still out injured, Jota, Kelechi Iheanacho, Callum Osmond, Alistair Johnston, Marcelo Saracchi, and Cameron Carter-Vickers all out injured. Martin O'Neill and his squad decision will have been boosted by the fact that Mikel Ange Balak-Wisha and Tenecti came back to training this week. Predicted lineups have changed, and a lot of people are saying that, well, I did say the other day that I think that Schmeichel will stay in goals. Will Ralston start? Will Trusty start? Will Scales start? Will Tierney start? Yes. To three of them, Ralston is the big one who could have a question over him. McGregor, Hatate, and Engels in the midfield seems to be the midfield that a lot of people are thinking. But up front, will it be Yang or will it be Balak-Wisha or even Benji Negrin? Because Martin O'Neill does like Benji Negrin. Will he go with Benji Negrin on the wing, even though he's not a winger? Will he drop Yang, even though he's in fantastic form sometimes? And will he go with Dyson Maeda through the middle? How long do we have Dyson Maeda for? It was very telling in the interview yesterday that there was no talk at all. No questions. It's as if someone had stood up at the front of the press conference and said, no questions on Dyson Maeda, no questions on this, no questions on that, no questions on this, and no questions on that. Hence the reason it was only a 7-minute interview. But anyway, we move on. Johnny Kenny, could he start? Or will the substitutes be Sinisalo, Arrojo, Murray, Donovan, McCowan, Bernardo, Yang, Kenny, and James Forrest? James Forrest is always on the bench. But will he start? Will he drop Yang? I think that's the big watch today. Will he drop Yang and bring in Balak-Wisha? And will he drop Johnny Kenny and put Dyson Maeda through the middle at Celtic Park? 3 points is all that matters today. Yes, it is that. What's Gary Hooper up to? Yeah, there's another player that wanted away. We seem to be going back to players that wanted as far away. I've done everything I can at Celtic. It's time to go. But yeah. We're not linked with the Van soon, at one time or another. The new guy from Israel is supposedly one for the future. Great. Please no Rio. Yeah. I think Martin O'Neill will play Rio. He liked him as a player. I think that we played better without Rio. I think one of the big things that the Wilfred Nancy tenure did, and it was big shouts. And I'd wish it just clicked for him, because we finally had a manager that wasn't afraid to drop Rio Hitati. Do you know, we finally had a manager that went, nah, Rio, you're just not doing it the whole game, man. You can't get started. Dropped Rio Hitati. But I think that Martin O'Neill likes him as a player and his experience. Martin O'Neill was old school. He likes to go for, you know, the reason that he's going to stick by Kasper Schmeichel is because of his experience. Does he have the longevity? Is he one more mistake away from costing us? Because the fans will turn on Kasper Schmeichel today again if he lets in a clanger. If he does what Kasper's doing, and what, listen, and we're not just picking on him because he's dropping form. This type of thing happens statistically to all goalkeepers. The reaction time's not as good. Martin O'Neill says that, you know, that he doesn't know a lot about Sinisalo. He needs to see him more to see what he can offer. He trusts Kasper Schmeichel because of the experience he has. It's going to be Martin O'Neill's downfall, unfortunately. And the fact that the board don't look as if they'll back him in the numbers that we were hoping for. I think, seriously, now, 10 days into the transfer window, I think that we're coming up for the halfway point in a couple of days. And I think that realistically, if we bring in 4 players, it will be a miracle. If we bring in 3 players, it will be a good window. And you never know, you might get 3 loan signings on the final day of the window. Is that good enough? No, it's not. It's not what we needed. Is it stick and plaster stuff? Yes. Is it falling asleep at the wheel? Most definitely. And do you back the Not Another Penny campaign? Yes. Do not buy a single thing when you go inside Celtic Park today. Are we in for Hibs Bowie? I don't think so, because Hibs have come out and said that they don't want to sell him. There's no offer being put on the table by Celtic yet. You know, there's no concrete offer. And this is what's wrong with Celtic. Celtic should just open up the start of the window and go, right, I want him, and him. There's 4 players we need. Drop the paperwork, put in the offers, but no. Celtic go, let's get on, let's try and see if we can get on best terms with Birmingham again after they publicly annihilated our board. You've got to remember, in the summer, the hierarchy of Birmingham City Football Club completely humiliated Celtic in public. And we're expecting a player that wanted away from us to come back. And 2, you're expecting to work with a club that thinks that the way that you do your business is a complete joke and a shambles. You couldn't make it up from Celtic Football Club. You could not make it up. It's like a never-ending story. It's like one of your worst nightmares of how to run a business. But never mind, it's Celtic. Jocelyn Tabai looks shit hot. I haven't watched some stuff he has, but Arne Engels looks shit hot. Louis Palmer looks shit hot. These YouTube clips don't show you when their head goes down. Video footage of Rio Hitati didn't show you him walking about the game like this, with his head down. None of the YouTube footage that you see online shows everything about a player. It shows you the good points, but that good point, I mean, statistically, if you look at any video of Johnny Kenny at his time when he was in Ireland, looked like a goal scoring machine. Shout out to the Livingston Emeralds. Arnold CSC, the Jockstein CSC, and the Craigs Hill Shamrock CSC. Big shout out to the Celtic supporters clubs all around the world, because there's nothing better than having your bus, because it's just you all get mad with it on the bus, and it's just you all go to the games together, go to the boozer, get up, hey breakfast, couple of pints for breakfast. Missed that. Kenny's an empty shirt. Shin instead of Kenny. What has Shin? I'm still. I still think that Shin Yamada has done nothing to prove that he's better than Johnny Kenny. He must be woeful in training. He must be terrible in training. If Johnny Kenny's getting in front of him, has to be. Forrest needs to work on his technique, according to Wilfred Nancy. If I'd heard that, I would have. You deserve to get sacked just for that. Not letting my coffee go cold this morning. I think that going for wingers is not the answer to our issues just now. It's having someone, one or two people, in the centre of the 18-yard box that can put the ball in the back of the net is the issue. Bringing in other wingers, I've no idea what's going on at the club. Highlighted players always make players look great. Yep, and they're only done for one thing and one thing only. I know a few editors that are fantastic at putting together these clips, and it's all about getting clicks. They know that they could put together a compilation and it'll get anything between 250,000 and 500,000 views on a 5-minute video, and it's happy days as far as they're concerned. That's the reality of YouTube clips of players. Four at the back is going to make the defence. Going to make the defence with this team against Dundee. Thing was the board. They're going back to the biscuit tin. They're not going to spend money. I can understand why they're not wanting to spend a lot of money, but players who've won consistently, Martin will pick. When was the last time that we won consistently? We've hardly went on a consistent run all season. So players who've won consistently, Martin will pick. Sorry for laughing, but what's the longest run of games that we've went on? Is in a winning situation? It must have been under Martin O'Neill. So it's that 4 games in the league all season. That's not consistency, is it? Forget about all players who have left Celtic. We need new blood. Yes, that. Maybe Casper has a plan to. For Celtic today, I was going to call him Hashati. Who's it that calls him Hashati on the chart? Hatati should be nowhere near this Celtic team. Rio gives the ball away. Ball away, Hatati. Maybe Casper's got a bee sting. A bee sting? Negativity? No, it's realism, I would say. It's the reality of where Celtic Football Club find themselves today. There's nothing about being negative, about realism. And if you can't make the difference between realism and negativity, it's maybe time to just like have a coffee, have some cereal, maybe a bit of toast and jam, get your sugar levels up. 4 wingers on loan, that's the way it is. I'd rather have Callum Wilson. Yeah, nah. Casper's time's up at Celtic. Too slow to get down for the ball. Well, he's going to be in goals today. Bowie's ready. Bowie reads 6.5 million. Yes, there's no chance. There's no chance Celtic will go to the beginning of a window and say, and Bowie's not going to be sold in the middle of the season. For Hibs have no chance. They wouldn't want to sell him. They don't need to sell him. It's you don't sell one of your best Celtics do. But Bowie, the difference between Bowie and say Kyogo is Kyogo had indicated he wanted to leave Celtic. Bowie has not indicated that he wants to leave Hibs. So just shows you how unprepared we are. Over a year, I've been screaming for a centre forward. Yep. Yep. Huns will beat us to Bowie to make 6.5 million. They weren't told last night. Both. Do you think that they'll go? Go ahead, Eagles too. Bowie's a must. Kyogo's been shite for a year. No brainer. Stay clear. Yeah, exactly. But Bowie just asked for a transfer. Bit of a rebel, if you ask me. No, he's not. What a nonsense. I'm going to jump right to the end of. The club should have been talking to several strikers as get soon as to the window opened. The club needs a total overhaul. Yes, it does. The club does need a total overhaul, and I think that the people that are running the club are getting away with absolutely just anything just now. Celtic do play this afternoon. 6.5 million for Bowie. Yep, it cost us 4 million for Scott Brown back in the day. Excuse me. It cost us four. Was it 4 million for Scott Brown or six? I think it was 4 million for the legend who sits on my desk every day, and I put a cup on top of him. Typical Fiferish thing to do. Just put your mug on top of Brownie's coupon. Bowie's like a pole. Bowie ain't worth anything like that. Bowie's not worth 6 million. See, this is where you get the negativity coming in. That's negativity. We are now determining what other clubs value their players at, saying that he's not worth that. But if a club from England comes in and goes, "There's 6.5 million," he's worth that. He's worth whatever the club. He's worth 6.5 million. Hibs all day long. Hibs' position in the league doesn't lie. You know, their position in the league, they're there on merit. If they're there because of the goals that Bowie has scored, they're in touching distance for being in a fight for third place. You know, if we lose today and they win, they go above us. Celtic go down to fourth position. If Bowie scores today and we can't score, say we draw, Hibernian will go above us on goal difference. And that's the sad reality of things. And I could see it being a draw today. Celtic -2 today, fill your books. Boo. Right, give me your score predictions. We'll do our score predictions just now, rather than the team news video. Give me your score predictions in the comment section and we'll get them up. Casper's costing us on a regular basis. His decision making is terrible. Whether he comes off his line or not. The fattest keeper in Britain will cost us the league. Yes, he will. Do you think we'll be in a better position right now, or when our players are back fit, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Alistair Johnson and Jota, the league will be gone. We will have 8 games at most the time that those players come. I think, well, see, it's Cameron Carter-Vickers is out for the season, isn't he? The only one that you're going to really get back this season is Alistair Johnston and Jota. And the damage is done. The damage is done. The goal difference tells you that the damage is done. Even if we manage to fight back and try and draw level with Hearts, the goal difference is the killer. And I don't see us consistently winning games 3 or 4-0. I just don't see it at all. Celtic 1-0. That lot are paying 7.5 million for 2 players. We're going back at the Celtic phone book. World class run club my arse. So very true. Celtic 2-1. Pay 10 million for Bowie and Mulligan. Sell Bernardo and Ralston. Brando. 4-1 Celtic, 3-0 Celtic, 3-1 Celtic, 3-1 Celtic, 2-0 Celtic, 1-0 Celtic, 3-0 Celtic, 1 each. Could that atmosphere stadium will be non-existent, but we'll win 4-0. Davy Boy, KG 1-0 for us. I think so. Could be 5-0, not a chance. Who's scoring 3 or 4 goals? Nobody at Celtic, that's for sure. 2-1, the team's 2-1, 1-0. More chance of 1-0, to be fair. I think that would be a cagey or a 0-0 does us no favours at all. And if it's another 0-0, the league's gone. If we drop points today, I'm going to say it this early on in the season, the chances of Celtic winning the league are pretty much gone. 3-0 Celtic, 3-1 Celtic. Knows who scores. Yeah, this is true. The Martin O'Neill effect. Martin O'Neill effect will not do much if the fans are not singing. If the fans get on the backs of Casper Schmeichel. Bowie's overrated. Not even the level of Adam Ida, who cost us 9 million. Money doesn't guarantee us quality. 3-1 Dundee United. What's O'Neill going to do? 1-0. And even that's going to be an own goal. We just need to hang in there the next few games. I can see Martin O'Neill getting us through this. 7-0. 7-0? Time is it in Australia, mate? No. 4-0. Bowie's an absolute beginner. Bowie's worth 6.5 million. Strikers are expensive. That's the going rate. Yep. World class at Dermot's lackeys only. Yeah, this is true. Beginner 3-1 Kenny hat trick. Someone says that every game. 3-1 Kenny hat trick. Has to happen sometime at a different club. The last home game, last 4 or 5, the fans need to bring the noise. Yeah, it's Celtic drop points today. It's over, Baz. Yes, it is. If we drop any points today, I mean, Dundee United are in 7th position on 25 points. Dundee United are sitting with a goal difference of -2. They have scored 28 goals this season. Celtic have scored 34 goals this season. But Dundee United have shipped 30 goals this season. That's the only good point. That's the only good stat for today's game. Is that, I mean, Dundee United got beat by Dundee in their last game, 1-0. I can't see Celtic scoring more than 2 today. Shocking that we're still relying on Kenny and Shin as our strikers. The Grumpy Greek, 6.5 million offer. Who's going to go to the Celtic Park Library today? A lot of fans could fit Schmeichel's sunny hot yes 7-0. 7-0. The sun's getting to you, mate. In fact, it's going to be hot here today again. 6-3. Nah, it's never going to be 6-3. Anyway, that is me done and dusted for this morning. I will be back 1 hour. 1.5 hours before kickoff when we get the Martin O'Neill's first team since his last team 6 weeks ago. Crazy. Why didn't we just keep him? Hindsight. It's a wonderful thing, isn't it? Have a fantastic morning, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.